Greetings to you. Well, it's Sunday, and President Irfaan Ali has still not fired Edghill. In other words, I can now draw the conclusion that President Irfaan Ali refuses to fire Edghill. And I have a problem with that. I applauded the days past when Guyana was trending with a Christmas feeling. When Guyana was trending with a paradise tone to it. I applauded those days. I amplified those days. I talked about it. I praised my president for the authenticity of the progress that was felt prior to a Saturday ago. I have protested against the continued negative publicity that comes out of Guyana regarding crime, regarding this, regarding that. As you know, I have spoken extensively against that. I get it, we deal with human beings, but sometimes you may have to endure these ugly scenarios. But this latest tragedy is the biggest of all. It's the biggest of all. The worst trajectory of Guyana trending right now. Nobody focuses on development anymore. Nobody focuses on the beauty of Guyana anymore. All ears and eyes and hearts are now locked on what comes out of this situation that involved the murdering, the brutal, conscious, premeditated murdering of our citizens, of all ethnicities, all ethnicities. Everyone is locked to see what comes out of this. And the fact that President Irfaan Ali is stalling for time, the inevitable of getting rid of the bishop. I have a serious problem with that. This is not extradition, Muhammad fighting extradition, so he's stalling for time. What, Guyana now has to go to the CCJ to get rid of the bishop? Do we have to take this incident to the CCJ also? Just so that you can get the balls, Mr. President, to fire this fucking loser. Edghill. It's a week. Only talking. Politics. For heaven's sake, man. These are lives that was lost. This in the campaign trail. Elections is next 4 years from now. I'm not focused on local government elections. I need justice for these souls. Today, yesterday, last week, last Saturday, on the day of the incident, we needed justice. Edghill should have been fired immediately. He's one man. Don't screw up the entire future of the PPP because of one man. What is he, indispensable? What, he came with blessings? You think because of him you won elections? If it's up to him, nobody will vote. Get rid of Edghill. There's no excuse. I am tired of commissions of inquiries. I am fucking tired of it. It's just a play for time. It is to appease a dumb nation. That is every time this happens, that's what the politicians are telling the Guyanese people. You are stupid, so we can get away every time by giving you a commission of inquiries. Yeah. First was one man. Remember in the 80s, Walter Rodney? There was a commission of inquiry by the PPP to investigate the murdering of Walter Rodney. The commission found that the bomb was set by some lone bomber. They used taxpayers' money. They used taxpayers' money for commission of inquiry, as we know, for Walter Rodney. How many arrests came from that? This arrest came from the Walter Rodney Commission of Inquiry. No commission of inquiry into the massacre, the Linden massacre. No commission of inquiry. Again in 2018, commission of inquiry for the Lindo Creek massacre. The Lindo Creek massacre that occurred in 2008 under President Barjaglio, when those 8 or 9 men, hard-working Guyanese men, they weren't criminals, they weren't fugitives from the law. These are men who were working in the interior, mining gold. What, they were squatting on somebody's land? Was it your land, Muhammad? Was it your father's land? These men were squatting on, and they orchestrated the murder, the massacre of these 9 men. A commission of inquiry was implemented under the APNU in 2018, looking into that case from 2008. What came out of it? What came out of the commission of inquiry into that incident, that massacre? What came out of it? 0 arrest. And it is your government, your party, Mr. President, who protested against the PNC in 2018, saying that a commission of inquiry headed by one man, according to you, Donald Trotman, the father of Raphael Trotman, Donald Trotman Sr., I trained under him when it comes to the United Nations Charter. He was my mentor, Senior Trotman. That was a man of character, credibility, but yet he was disqualified because he was the only one who headed the commission of inquiry into the massacre of 2008. The PPP that was in opposition at the time protested, shut it down, closed it down. They were against it. It was a political landslide against that commission of inquiry. Your government, your party now, Mr. President, was against it, claiming it was politically motivated, it was politically this, politically that, politically this, all of that. So what came out of the 2018 Commission of Inquiry into the massacre of those hard-working Guyanese men because they were working on somebody's concession, somebody's gold concession? Killed them. They thought it was a fine man gang, the fine man whatever gang, that criminal that escaped from prison, that they murdered after. Yeah. Nothing came out of it. 0 arrest. It was shut down, shut down. You heard nothing else about it after that. Second commission of inquiry. What's the other commission of inquiry we had for this period? What's the other one? They announced recently that they want to have a commission of inquiry into the death of Adriana Young. The DPP announced that recently. And for another massacre by sea, with the negligence of the system, we have another commission of inquiry, another waste of taxpayers' money. Even if these people come from Mars, even if these 5 commissioners are from Mars, I am not going to support it. So the fact that they are international, the mentality of Guyanese people, international, let's get the international people. You would think they're not humans. You would think these international so-called people are not human beings, and they're also subjected to be bribed and corrupted. People, if we can't trust our own people within our structure, why are we continuing to push this narrative that anybody else besides a Guyanese citizen is honest and decent? Tell that to the foreign companies that are securing contracts in the country and that are abusing the Guyanese system. Tell that to them. They're supposed to be the honest one, right? We are the corrupt one. We are the fucked up one in Guyana. Everybody else is good. We are bad. So continue to bring foreigners, but you get nothing out of this commission. All you get is a hole in the budget because you got to pay them. And treat them like kings and queens. All of the survivors have given their testimony. They recount the incidents. For years, Guyanese have complained for years. And all they keep doing is patching up a dying ship and pushing it in the faces of the people. That's all they keep doing. They bought so-called new boats and just show the people, this is what you might get, you could get, but you don't deserve it and you wouldn't get it. Just admire it, take pictures with it, take selfie, because this is supposed to be here to earn money. You would think the bishop himself took a loan from the bank and buy those both Kimbia and Lisha with his money, so he has to recover. And the only thing he can do, he can't wait to put it on the waters, to wait 20 and 30 years to recover his investment. So he has to wait until they have some bashment and some festival and some jam zone, whatever it is, and they now give him a big check every time they have to rent the boat, so he can recover his investment in 10 years. That's the mentality of the bishop. But these boats that they have used our money to buy, no, we don't deserve to be on those boats. We are low-class citizens. We should be on pontoons, packed together like fucking cane, sugar cane. Yeah. You know, like the way they packed that Barima, Envy Barima, last Saturday. They packed it to capacity. And they realized that, hey, but there's still some room to squeeze people in. Let them go on top of each other. Pack them like slaves. Yeah, pack them like sardines, like slaves. After all, it's a voyage. It's a long voyage. It's 24 hours. Yes, from the shores of Africa to the shores of the Caribbean. Let us take these slaves to the promised land so they can go work like more slaves. And well, if we have casualties, we'll just pack another ship. Yeah, last Saturday was the last slave ship. The last slave ship. Yeah, we can say that slavery finally ended. Finally ended. Because the slave master himself, the bishop, the missionary, the man of God, the Christ in 2026 finally decided that, well, before they have to protest to end slavery, let us sink the ship. And he sunk the ship. End the slavery. Yeah, when you treat human beings like that, when you pack them in such a way, when you show such blatant disregard for women and children and hard-working men, that's how you see them, Bishop. You see them like slaves. You see them like slaves. And the president continues to make excuses to keep you on the fucking job, to earn our money. We have to pay this criminal to continue to serve in this very important ministry. Now you have to, the Commission of Inquiry, Mr. President, the Commission of Inquiry should expand to every project that Edghill certified since he's minister. Every project. Get the commission to investigate everything Bishop has his signature on from day one to see which is still viable, which actually was built according to specification, and find out how much he made on the side. Find out how much he made on the side. And while you're at that, the same Bishop who had secured a third-hand ship, steamer. The man is such a fucking lowlife. All the money the country is earning, all the wealth Guyana has, and still, when you look at the track record of the Bishop, we're sticking on the waters. A third-hand boat he secured to transport the valuable lives of Guyanese in the Essequibo River. Ship that was served its purpose, then somebody else bought it, it served them, then they realized, okay, we need to scrap this. He's like, no, don't scrap it. I have some low-life people, I can use it to transport them. Their lives don't matter. We'll just patch it together and just let them use this boat. Right. The same Bishop. So it's no accident how he treated the residents there of Northwest that have to use NV Barima. It's no accident. That's the mentality of the man, the pastor, the man who spent his whole life serving God. That is the best the church brought out of him. That's the best it brought out of him, to treat human beings like they're scraps and scrapes. Oh yes, you give meaning to that word, Bishop. You give meaning to that word. Those people on the NV Barima that perish, to you, they're scraps and scrapes. That's why they packed on each other, smell each other's perspiration, and have each other's children vulnerable to strangers. You fucking piece of shit. Inquiry, Commission of Inquiry, to find out what, Mr. President? You need a Commission of Inquiry to decide if to fire the Bishop? You want Guyanese to trust that? It never works. Historically, it never works. These are lives that was lost. You know who the culprit is, Mr. President. The culprit is one Edghill. You don't need a commission for that. All you need is a fucking protest. A massive protest, and you'll see how quick he'll go. He will resign. You do the commission of inquiry. How long is it going to take them? Are they going to interview the 60 plus people that survived? Is the commission of inquiry going to interview the 60 plus people that survive? All them terms that you're talking about, Mr. President, for them to recommend technical this, technical that, who did this, who did, come on, man. Guyanese, remember, we often say that Guyanese are stupid, that 58% of the country is living under poverty. It's not just economic poverty, it is literacy. It is common sense poverty. So if you're dealing with a population of 58% stupid, you're saying they give a shit about all those terms you use there? Commission to find out this and find out that and find out this and find out that? Those are technical terms that nobody gives a shit about. They don't understand it. They don't want to hear. They're not interested in that. Because why? Their commission of inquiry, the Guyanese people's commission of inquiry, means their common sense, their eyes, their ears, and their actual materialistic experience traveling with that boat for decades. Their commission of inquiry told them a long time the boat was not sea fucking worthy. It was not seaworthy. They complained and they complained and they complained and they complained until they are tired. And they blindly trusted you, Mr. President, that you have their back. You would look out for their lives. You would look out for their children's future. You're building a modern Guyana so that their children can enjoy, so they can drive on the big roads. They can enjoy the scenery. They can enjoy all these cash grants. They have to live. They have to live so they can benefit from that, Mr. President. They have to live. They trust you with their lives. And you directed their lives to this devil, this wicked bishop. And look what happened. That's all the commissioning you needed. The years of Guyanese complaining, the many rehabilitation, the hundreds of millions that was invested in fixing a dying ship, the fact that he purchased so many boats, second-hand, third-hand. How do we even know that the boats that was purchased, they were brand new? Can we have a commission of inquiry go to India or the other country who Edghill bought these other boats from and find out if they were built from scratch? Can we have the commission go to these countries and find out? Can we have them do that? Can we have the FBI find out if the actual cost for the boats that Edghill said they cost is the actual cost? Can we have the FBI do that? They're good at getting figures. Nobody would lie to them. No country would produce false documentation to the FBI. They will do it to Guyana's politicians, Guyanese investigators. Can we get the FBI to do this? If we want to do a total, comprehensive, impartial investigation, then don't stop on the waters. We know what happened there. We know who's responsible for that. But we want to know if Edghill should get 100 years in prison. But for us to get that or the facts, they need to go travel, trail, follow the money. Follow the money. We need to find out that. And also find out if Edghill has any connections to Marine Inc., the private company that is operating the third-hand ship. Find out if there is any involvement, if Edghill has any investment, or if he's one of the owners of Marine Inc. or Indar, the two of them. Find out. We're looking at comprehensive investigation, right? A total. Follow the money. I am sure you will find a rabbit. And rabbits are decent animals. You will find a snake. Even snakes, unless you interfere with them, they're decent animals. You'll find a rat. Nobody likes the rat. You'll find the rat. Find out if Edghill has stakes in Marine Inc., the private company that he contracted to operate the third-hand ship that he bought with scraps. Find that out. That's the stupidity. That's why I said the Irfaan Ali government now is perpetuating what the APNU government did in 2015, 2020. Guyanese are stupid. Because the fact that your minister, Edghill, contracted a private marine company to operate one of his boats, one of Edghill's boats, and still has to pay this company almost $500,000 Guyana dollars a day, almost $500,000 Guyana per day to operate one steamer. And it ain't new. The same company that he secured the boat, they're operating the boat on his behalf, not the government's behalf, Edghill's behalf. Because the Transport and Harbors Department that Edghill is responsible for, and his side chick, Yolanda, who is the manager, they are incapable. They are incapable of managing a so-called third-hand ship to transport people. They can't operate that ship. They have to contract a private company to do it, and is paying a private company almost $500,000 Guyana per day to operate that boat. How the fuck? They claim that they knew what they were doing with NV Berima. They don't have the means to operate a ship that is in better condition than NV Berima. They're paying specialists to operate that ship. And they left NV Berima to the dogs they have at the Transport and Harbors Department to just operate it like a ghetto steamer because the people who use it are not that important. Look at the difference of the people who uses the one that the third hand ship that they're paying money to operate. Look who the passengers are. Look the route that it serves. And look at the contrast. The Northwest districts, Amerindians. Essequibo Coast, blacks and Indians. They get a little bit better quality. The Amerindians, you left them to the dogs. You couldn't take care of, I have to be repetitive because I need this to sink in your common senses. Edghill could not handle a slightly better condition steamer. He has no expertise, no personnel to operate that ship. He gave it to a private company, but held on to the one that should have been decommissioned. Held on to that. Why not give the private company that one too? They didn't want it. No, it's going to cost us too much to fix this. They didn't want it. So instead of taking our money and buying, or as a matter of fact, giving us the one that they already bought for 12 million, what a ripoff to the Guyanese people. The excuse was, we don't have a wharf. We don't have a wharf. But they have a wharf to accommodate the same boat for their excursions, for their parties. They have a wharf for that. But for the boat to travel to Northwest, to keep Guyanese safe, to increase commerce, to increase development in the Northwest district, they don't have a wharf. And the boat reached Guyana 2023. 3 years after, this fucking idiot still don't have a wharf. 3 years after. Still there is no wharf. Oh, it's sunk. Excuses, excuses, excuses. And you need a commission of inquiry, Mr. President, for what? For what? You want to exonerate the bishop from any responsibilities? From any criminal negligence? Is that what this is for? So that I have to retract my call and everybody else has to say, well, you see, the bishop wasn't wrong. I want to sentence to prison the captain and the sailors, but let the bishop go free and his manager and the morons from Marad, they must go free. The commission is to help them. not to bring justice for the Guyanese people. That's the purpose of the Commission of Inquiry. I say fuck it. No Commission of Inquiry. I'm not backing that. I'm not supporting that. I said the bishop should be fired, and he should have been fired 7 days ago. He should have been fired last week. That's it. This is your authority, Mr. President. Save taxpayers' money. You see how much money is going on wasting? Wasting money to build, to fix boats, to repair boats. Now you're going to waste millions to pay 5 commissioners to conduct a scam, a hoax. And all you could have done is put somebody competent. As Minister of Public Works, and just buy brand new boats. Brand new boats. Show what the country is earning. Show off the money. Show off the money. Look at the independence celebration. Look at the Independence Day celebration at Fort Island. The hundreds of millions that was invested for something that honors Forbes Burnham. So we can't say money in there. We can't say the government don't have money. Look at how many things the government has done over the past year with taxpayers' money. And you could not buy another boat. Could not buy another boat. Now you're going to spend money again for Commission of Inquiries to lie for Bishop Edghill. Or because he's a bishop. Man of God. That's justice. He needs justice, right? He deserves justice, not the Guyanese people. Edghill deserves justice. Okay, give him justice. I don't have the power to call off the Commission of Inquiry. I don't. I'm just giving my opinion. I can't steer the conversation because there's still no protest. Edghill is still in the job, no protest. I call for protest, there's no protest. People are waiting now. And this is what they get. Commission of Inquiry. It's going to take a long time if it goes through. 6 months, a year, how long would it take? Then eventually all you get is a press conference. These are our findings. And the bishop would have acquired much more wealth. By the end of the Commission of Inquiry's findings, Edghill would be a billionaire. Yes, by the end of it. And the Guyanese people who would have suffered, if all the bodies would be recovered by then, what they get is a dick up their ass. We trusted you, President Ali, to do what's right for your people. We voted for you to do what's right for your people. You have another 4 years. We can't be stuck with these imbeciles for another 4 years. We can't be stuck with that. Nobody can say they can call a no confidence motion against you, Mr. President. They can't do that. Who is going to vote? So we are stuck with this for the next 4 years. But the least you can do, sir, is don't remind us of the devil in a tie. We can't be subjected to another day looking at Edghill, listening to Indar and all these people. We can't. They are people that are competent. Get rid of fucking Edghill. Replace Edghill with Mustafa. Give Mustafa the job. Let him become the Minister of Public Works. Zulkar Mustafa. Put him. See how many new ships you'll get. Put him. He'll do a much better job. And speaking of Mustafa, let me shut down some of your criticisms. A lot of you are saying, and you send them your, anyway, enough with the messages, that I am only hard on Bishop because he's black. I am talking against Mark Phillips because he's black. I am trying to get Bishop Edghill fired because he's black. And this is typical with me being racist, that I don't like black people. So because this is a black man, I'm doing this. You think so? That's what you think? You think if Edghill was an Indo-Guyanese, I wouldn't be as passionate? That's the way you formulate your criticisms in your mind. You can't find anything else to attack me on. That's the best you can come up with. You think this is racial? This is a racist thing for me? Who is Indar? Is he black? Indar is Indo-Guyanese, right? He's Indo-Guyanese. I said both Indar and Edghill needs to go. This isn't because Edghill is black. No, because he's incompetent, he's evil, he's wicked. The man can't even manage his own church. You're going to put him in such a huge ministry. That's the biggest ministry in the government, next to the agriculture ministry, the biggest, largest budget. Are you going to put a numbskull like Edghill to run it? And Indar, what is their background? Indar's background is poverty. That's his background. Edghill's background is what? Hustling with his church. They have no other background that makes sense. Are you going to put them in such a ministry? Because Indar was Edghill's right-hand man in the first 5 years. You remove them and put him now as Minister of Public Utilities. Look where he gone. You already have to deal with a broken down, incompetent GPL, and you put another loser to be responsible for that. The man fucked up in the Ministry of Public Works, and you put him now to fuck up bigger in Utilities Ministry, as if they have nobody else who are capable of running that. Look, I don't know. I've never hung out with Kwame McCoy, like socialize, but I know of his track record. Since the days when he was people were stoning him on the street, threatening him at NTN, Channel 69. Since those days, I know Kwame McCoy. And I have never recorded any scandal involving Kwame McCoy. Never. The only thing that is public is Azurine cussing him, saying that the PPP used to tell him, Irfaan used to tell him, don't give Kwame the money. That's the only thing. So I'm saying that it's not that Irfaan Ali doesn't have competent, intelligent people. He has. Then why you give people like Kwame McCoy a stupid ass ministry like Ministry of Communication? Because he likes to talk? That's why you give him? You should have given him Prime Minister or Public Works Ministry. You give him something as low class, unimportant as Information Ministry. But you give a total loser like Edghill. He should have gotten Ministry of Communication because he speaks all his life. You understand? He's good at lying. He's good at pushing fake information, because that's how you keep people coming to your church. You got to lie to them, make false promises, tell them God says this. He should have gotten the Ministry of Communication, not McCoy. You should have given Kwame McCoy Minister of Public Works. So it's not as if Ali don't have good people. He has competent people. But you keep putting square peg in wrong hole. Look at Ministry of Education. Look at Ministry of Tourism. What's her name again? Susan Rodriguez, a lesbian, to head Ministry of Tourism. That's to the world. That, hey, Guyana is encouraging homosexuality because look at the Minister of Tourism. To attract those kinds of people to come to the country. Common sense. So now we are stuck with an indecisive president who can't deal with a criminal like Edghill. Commission of inquiry. Now you have in America, you have them protesting. You have them protesting, having public meetings in New York against the massacre of these people last Saturday. Look at the droves of people that turned out for that in the US. Bad publicity for Guyana, bad publicity. We should have been cheering on our president that he fired the man who's responsible. Fire the man. Everybody's holding sessions now because of the inability of the president to act regarding Edghill. My fellow Guyanese, I shall, as a duty to President Irfaan Ali, stand with what's right and what is just that comes out of his office. If I am not convinced that certain actions of the president is justifiable, I will speak against it. Not the man, the action. I need to emphasize this. President Irfaan Ali shall remain president until 2030. And as such, I will do my best to support his government until such time as he no longer is president. I support him as a president. I've said yesterday, and I'll repeat myself, I am no longer on record supporting the People's Progressive Party as a political organization. I am hurt and disappointed because of this strategy and the fact that there is no accountability. I cannot stand behind this kind of mediocrity. I can't stand behind it. Because Irfaan Ali is the president, I stand with him, not the party. Let me make that clear. Secondly, I want you to engage your common sense, Guyanese. Azzuddin Mohammed had no interest in politics. We all know that. Azzuddin Mohammed himself knows that he has to learn on the job. He don't have the patience or the time because there's nothing to be earned. There is no money to be earned in politics in the opposition. And it would be impossible for anyone to even fantasize the possibility that the Americans are going to let up on their case. It wouldn't happen. The Americans are going to pursue Mr. Mohammed to the ends of the world. They are not going to let up. No one in the government of Guyana, no one can protect Azzuddin Mohammed from extradition. No one. Please understand that. Nothing can go in the way of that. He has committed crimes against the largest, most powerful country in the world. They have destroyed economies, destroyed countries, taken out politicians for less. For less. Don't get carried away. Irfaan Ali doesn't want Muhammad gone. Barajagdeo doesn't want Muhammad gone. Anil Nandalal doesn't want Muhammad gone. The people who have protected the Muhammads from extradition years ago are the people we have right now. The PNC, the APNU, and the PPP. They were fully aware of the crimes of the Muhammads and they protected them. To this day, they're still protecting them. But that will not help. The Muhammads will have to go and face their due date. They have to go. There is no way that can be excused. It can't be excused. I need to state this emphatically. It is President Irfaan Ali and his government that is protecting the Muhammads from extradition. It is the president of Guyana and his government that is protecting the Muhammads from extradition. It is my opinion. They're covering them. So all this political gallivanting and all this nonsense that you're seeing in the media are like they're against each other. No, they're being protected. And the Americans are going to step up their pressure. The Americans are going to apply more pressure to get their criminal. They're going to use every means necessary to get their criminal. The Muhammads cannot escape this. Having said that, your emotions, Guyanese, are better invested right now towards justice, not politics. Justice for your loved ones, not politics. The fact that they have treated you like this, to give you the worst of the worst, to put you under the care of one of the worst politicians in the history of Guyana, Edghill. Now is the time, Guyanese, for us to rise up and demand more, not to invest your money and your time into a politician that has no future in the country, in Guyana's politics. Azruddin Mohammed has no future. None whatsoever. We can waste our time talking about extradition. The point I'm painting here is that the man cannot run from it. This is not up to the government. This is up to a powerful nation. And look at what that powerful nation is doing around the world. You think Muhammad is any match for them? You did the crime, just go deal with your issues. You're using your emotions to propel this man into a future that is not possible, that wouldn't exist. Now we have this whole thing with the GoFundMe, whatever name they're calling it. I say GoFundMe. Engage your common sense, Guyanese. Do you honestly think the Muhammads want that $2,000 that people might donate towards his cause? You really think he wants that? Or is it a front? The man is experienced with money laundering, with wire transfer. He's experienced with, he's a master when it comes to that. Isn't this a legitimate way for him to clean some money? For him to get large sums of money in a US bank? To help him out whilst he's there? Because when you have a fundraising, some anonymous donor can donate 20 million American dollars. Who is gonna follow up on and investigate that anonymous donor? Who is going to investigate an anonymous donor? Can donate 20 million American dollars to this GoFundMe the Mormons are having, allegedly, for the victims of the massacre. I'm calling it a massacre. It's money laundering. It's washing money. It's using this opportunity to declare we have raised 100 million American dollars for this tragedy because people are so sensitized. People are so hurt. We have 1 million people who donated money. And it's even worse if it's not via GoFundMe, because GoFundMe, you can monitor it. Everybody can see who donates what. But if it's another means, another website, they can produce any figures. Any figures. And since it's the Win America, the Win website or the Win page or the Win this, and people must donate directly to the Win organization, New York. Oh my gosh. Who is going to monitor that? Who is going to investigate that? Who is going to follow the receipts or where the money comes from? Who is going to do that? They can produce any invoice, anything, any data, any spreadsheet to say we earn this amount of money. Tell me who is going to find out if it's not the case. It's a sham. It's another way for the billionaire to invest his skills in money laundering to launder more money. They saw an opportunity and they're going to grab at the opportunity. That's what they do. Now you think you are impressed because Port Kaituma people tend to turn out? You think they turned out because of Ajudi Muhammad? You think I'm going to be impressed because concerned Guyanese that felt the pain of their brothers and sisters, Guyanese who turned out at the wake nights from Wednesday to Friday, those 3 nights of mourning. Did you see how many hundreds of people turned out there? You think they turned out because of Irfaan Ali? You think they turned out because of the corrupt bishop? If it was for Irfaan Ali and the corrupt bishop and those cabinet ministers, nobody will show up. They showed up because of their brothers and sisters who were grieving, who died and gone, their relatives. They showed up to support. They show up because of politicians. You think they showed up for Muhammad? That whole region there, around the areas of Port Kaituma, that whole region could have showed up. It is not a campaign. It's not a political activity that they go to listen to Muhammad speak because voting is next week. No. He just happened to be there. And people took the opportunity to show up to support their brothers and sisters in this time of mourning. Don't let them capitalize on that to say that, you see, the Guyanese are stepping over to win. No, it's not a win thing. It's a we thing. If I was in a region, I myself would have gone there. Not because I want to listen to an idiot speak, but because I want my presence to be there to stand with my fellow Guyanese. Again, I say it's not a political event. It's not a rally. Stop politicizing these things, man. You have disrespected the poor enough. Enough. Guyanese are not losers. They're not lame. You can catch them with anything. Any of these things you think they're, oh, let's go see we get some bread. Those days are over. This is serious business. Understand this. Serious business. I'm tired of this politicking, man. Every fucking decade, politics, politics, politics. Stop being that. Be human for a change. Be human for a change. So yes, I never supported APNU. I never supported the PNC. You know how I feel about the PNC. You know exactly how I feel about the PNC. When it comes to win, they don't exist. We invest in nationhood don't exist. And I've said, I'm done with the PPP. So where do I stand? A lot of you bunch of idiots, there is nowhere for me to cross over. There is nowhere, no place for me to cross over. There is no political party right now that I've given my support to. None. I am standing with Guyanese. Guyanese. I am done with politicians and fucking political parties. They're all the same. You were right. Guyanese, you were right. All the same. One is fighting for his survival to stay out of prison. The other is fighting for their survival to stay in government. And the other is fighting for their opportunity to get in government. You want to trust them? And all they keep giving you, Guyanese, are lies. The fact that the PNC did not fix this problem, they left it for Irfaan Ali. And the fact that Irfaan Ali didn't fix the problem, he left it for the bishop. And the fact that the bishop ignored the problem and caused all these deaths, I can't support any of them anymore. I am standing with my people. My loyalty now is to Guyanese, not politicians, not political parties, Guyanese. That's where my loyalty stands as of now. Irfaan Ali will be president until 2030. Don't get it twisted and allow PNC to build you up and make you believe that a no confidence is possible. Don't get it twisted. It's not. It's not possible. No matter how much the PPP is divided, no matter how much their ministers are against the president, it matters not. They will not vote against Ali in the parliament because why? If he goes, they go. You understand? All the corruption ends. So they ain't gonna vote against Ali. There's a 36-seat majority. Nobody is gonna vote against Ali. The most they can do is pressure Irfaan Ali to get rid of Edghill. But to say that they can have a no confidence vote against President Irfaan Ali, then you get an election sooner than the usual time, it is not going to happen. It will never happen. So come out of the nightmare. Get out of the delusion. It would not happen. Because if they vote against the president, they vote against themselves. And the last thing they want is an election right now. Even another year from now, or 2 years. Nobody from the PPP wants that. So they have to suck up and pretend that they like President Ali and stick around for the next 4 years. They wouldn't conspire to vote him out. Because if the PNC goes there, if there's an election and PNC wins, we all know what will happen, right? And those ministers, those parliamentarians right now on the PPP side, they don't want that. So President Ali is safe until 2030. He's safe. The most that can happen is that they will try to do things to make him look bad, like what Bishop Edghill has done. Lose public trust. That's the most they can do. But they can't get rid of him. They can't get rid of him. I just thought I'll tell you that. So we need to channel our emotions towards accountability, fairness, justice, better treatment, lower food prices, lower oil prices, lower rent, better wages. We need to push our energy towards that for the next 4 years. Pressure the president to deliver on his promises in those respects. And right now, we want the bishop gone. We want the bishop arrested and locked up. If anybody else has to face jail time, if anybody else has to face jail time besides Edghill, you better start protesting. I'm telling you like it is. There is no benefit in me telling you now otherwise. No benefit. I have to tell you like it is so you understand how to use your emotions. Don't fall for any tricks of politicking anymore. We have to survive this 4 years. We'll survive the 4 years. But in the meantime, we have to demand justice when it is due, a better quality of life because we can afford it. Refuse to go on the boats that should be abandoned. Refuse to utilize public facilities that you know should be abandoned. Refuse it. Stand down. I am sorry that I wasn't aware of the situation at Envy Barima before. Because if I had, I would have been calling for people not to use the boat. Not to use the boat. Protest. Demand a new boat. I would have been pushing for that. It took a tragedy. It took a tragedy now for my views to change. So many lives. It's not fair. We demand no commission of inquiry, Mr. President. We demand the removal of Edghill. We demand that last week. Edghill should be under arrest. You don't want him to go to prison? Put him under house arrest. He must have no contacts with the ministry, the THD. He must have no contacts with anyone. Then you get all the facts, then you take it to the court. But the fact that he's still there, it's a clear indication that the president refuses to act in the interest of Guyanese. Commissions of inquiries have failed before. They failed before, they always produce nothing. Even remember the incident in the Suriname waters where these fishermen were attacked and murdered on sea? Remember that, right? It happened also in the Ali government. I forgot what year it was, but between 2025 and 2025, when they had that attack with Guyanese fishermen on the waters, Suriname, there was also a commission of inquiry. Who was arrested? What came out of that commission is how not to make it happen again. Every fucking time they waste our fucking money to have these fucking commission of inquiries. The only fucking thing we get from these fucking commission of inquiries is how not to make it happen again, how to prevent the thing they're inquiring from not happening again. That's all you get for your money. And that's how we'll get, again, if this stupid thing goes forward. They'll come with a long report. This is where the mistakes were made. This is the recommendation so that this tragedy won't happen again. That's all you get. And all the usual fuckers are going to stay in their position to continue ripping off Guyanese. Are you worried about Mohammedan tax dollars? Are we seeing how our tax dollars are being wasted? Like I said, no one can save Azzuddin Mohammed and his father from extradition. Nobody. Guyana is a grain of sand as against the might of the American justice system. President Irfaan Ali is just a senator to the American government. A senator. The Americans will get their man. Understand that. We can't idle on Muhammad's fate. We have to think beyond the Muhammad's fate. And thinking beyond the Muhammad's fate is Guyanese having to endure 4 more years with a partially corrupt cabinet. And how to deal with that is by applying pressure on the president to fire all of those imbeciles and low energy ministers that he has and replace them with decent people until his term is ended. Decent people. For now, we need Bishop Edghill and Indar gone. Those two. All right? Use the people you have. The good ones you have, use them. Use them. Reduce the cabinet size. Use them. Yeah. I don't need contracts. I don't have to like Bishop Edghill. I'm not a contractor. Okay? So I don't have to like him. I don't have to support him. Because he don't need to give me shit. I don't need shit from him. I'm just Dr. Prasad. This is what I do. Besides my private stuff, this is what I do. So I'm not interested in whatever perks comes with keeping certain people in a certain position. I'm not interested. I'm not benefiting, so fuck it. Fire the man. I don't need to benefit too. I'll benefit from the Guyanese people. They're the ones who buys my books. They're the ones who support. They're the ones. So I have to look out for them. I have to look out for the Guyanese people, not politicians. We are all poor. We are all struggling. So we have to have each other's back against corrupt systems. Right? Until next time. Thanks for watching.